meeting of November 10th. As allowed by Governor Pritzker's executive order, this meeting will be conducted remotely via Zoom. Roll call, Mrs. Thomas.
You're on mute.
Can you hear us, Meryl? Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins.
Here.
Trustee Purcell.
Here.
Trustee Washington.
Here.
Trustee Roman.
Here.
Trustee Heiferman.
Here.
Trustee Burnson.
Here.
President Hofeld.
Here. Representing staff this evening, to my left is our village attorney, Chris Cummings. To my right is our village manager, Jim Marino. Also joining us via Zoom elsewhere in the building is our finance director, Dennis Bubanek, public works director, John Schaefer, and assistant village manager, Napoleon Haney. The minutes of October 27th, any additions or corrections? Trustee Dawkins.
None.
Trustee Purcell.
I was not here.
Okay. Trustee Washington.
None.
Trustee Roman.
I have nothing.
Trustee Heiferman.
I have none.
And Trustee Burnson.
I have nothing.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes, please?
So moved, Burnson.
So moved by
Second.
Trustee Burnson, seconded by,
Trustee Washington.
thank you. Seconded by Trustee Washington. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins.
Aye.
Trustee Purcell.
Aye.
Trustee Washington.
Aye.
Trustee Roman.
Aye.
Trustee Heiferman.
Aye.
Trustee Burnson.
Aye.
The minutes are approved. The claims list in the amount of $717,971.73. Comments or questions? Trustee Dawkins.
None.
Trustee Purcell.
Nothing.
Trustee Washington.
None.
Trustee Roman.
I have nothing.
Trustee Heiferman.
I have no questions.
Trustee Burnson.
I have no questions or comments.
May I have a motion to approve the claims list, please?
So moved, Trustee Washington.
Second, Purcell.
Been moved by Trustee Washington, seconded by Trustee Purcell. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins.
Aye.
Trustee Purcell.
Aye.
Trustee Washington.
Aye.
Trustee Roman.
Aye.
Trustee Heiferman.
Aye.
Trustee Burnson.
Aye.
Claims list is approved. Of that almost $718,000 claims list, 2 items comprised the majority of that. Our payment to the city of Harvey for water was $306,000, and our monthly employees' health insurance was $230,000. That amounted to $536,000, 75% of that claims list. Hear from the audience, and as clarified by our village attorney, I do have a statement to make. All public comments before tonight's meeting have been distributed to the entire Board of Trustees and will be included in the minutes of the meeting. As provided in the board's public comments rules, the village clerk will not read aloud those comments that repeat statements made previously. The omnibus vote, Mrs. Thomas.
The board is asked to approve the third amendment to the real estate purchase and sale agreement, allowing for an extended inspection period and closing date for the Triumph building in downtown Homewood. The agreement between the village and HCF Homewood LLC gives the developers additional time due to the down market brought on by COVID-19 pandemic. The board is asked to pass ordinance M2150, approving a utility easement agreement between the village and Chicago SMSA Limited Partnership on behalf of Verizon Wireless. Verizon is updating equipment for 5G service and needs the easement to lay fiber optic lines along the south side of Public Works at 17755 Ashland Avenue. Verizon will pay $12,500 for the easement. The board is asked to pass an ordinance M2151 granting a parking variance to allow the operation of a Place of Zen Salon and Spa at 18360 Governor's Highway. The board is asked to pass ordinance 1043, increasing the number of Class 14E liquor licenses from 0 to 1 and grant a liquor license to DSLR LLC, formerly Copper Still Martini Bar and Lounge. This application is made by the new business owner. Under Homewood law, liquor licenses do not automatically transfer. The board is asked to waive competitive bidding for the purchase of a mobile vehicle lift system due to a joint purchasing program. The Public Works purchase of a Rotary Flex 419 lift system will be made through Sourcewell Joint Purchasing Program for a cost not to exceed $47,973.77.
Thank you. Board comments? Trustee Dawkins.
Nothing.
Trustee Purcell.
Good.
Trustee Washington.
Nothing.
Trustee Roman.
Nothing.
Trustee Heiferman.
No comments.
Trustee Burnson.
I have nothing.
I have a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda, please.
So moved, Burnson.
Second, Heiferman.
Been moved by Trustee Burnson, seconded by Trustee Heiferman. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins,
Aye.
Trustee Purcell,
Aye.
Trustee Washington,
Aye.
Trustee Roman,
Aye.
Trustee Heiferman,
Aye.
Trustee Burnson.
Aye.
Consent agenda is approved. New business. Item number 8, a discussion regarding a liquor license request for Saucy Crab in Homewood. Mr. Bubenek.
Thanks, Rich. The Saucy Crab is busy right now working on their location at 17620 Halsted. If you know the area, that's right next to the Kohl's department store. With this restaurant, and the restaurant theme is Southern with seafood, they've asked for a liquor license. They estimate that their food sales will be about 85% of their total sales and liquor about 15% of their sales. Met with the liquor commissioner, discussed it, sounded like a good plan, and we are presenting to the village board tonight. Staff recommendation: if the board is in favor of this request, staff should be directed to begin the liquor license application process for the Saucy Crab in Homewood and prepare an ordinance to increase the allowed number of licenses in the appropriate class to accommodate Saucy Crab's request. So it's a little more difficult here with COVID to get a representative in. So you do have their letter as far as backup. If you do have any questions, I'll look into those questions with the applicant and get back to you with any answers.
And there will be a 75-25 license. 75% of their sales have to be in food.
Yes.
Comments or questions, Trustee Dawkins?
I'm excited to see us still attracting businesses in light of the current situation in our nation and locally. And I wish them all the luck in the world. I'm excited to have a seafood option, and I look forward to them opening soon. I was just driving past there wondering what was going on with this, and then it ended up on the agenda. So I'm very happy to see it.
That's your driving past did that. Trustee Purcell.
I have nothing to add except for that I'm happy about that too.
Trustee Washington.
Glad to see them come.
Trustee Roman.
I agree with everything that's been said. It's exciting that we still have new businesses coming in town, and welcome to them.
Trustee Heiferman.
Yeah, I think it's terrific. Who knew? We have a nice new place to go to. But one question is on this particular license, I'm assuming it's a without gaming.
I'm sorry.
I don't see the applicant asking for that on the letter I've got here, but if you'd like me to ask them if that's something they're interested in, I certainly could.
I would say maybe the commissioner would address whether it's with gaming or not. And either way, I just think it's something that should be addressed, but I'm glad to see them.
Trustee Burnson.
Glad to see a growing company chose Homewood to be one of their new sites.
Okay. Dennis, I believe you have the direction you need to prepare an ordinance to present to the board at a future meeting. Okay. Presentation of the water transmission main project. Mr. Marino.
Yes, thank you. Last year, we engaged the engineering firm of Burns and McDonald to design a new water transmission main so we can switch our water suppliers from the city of Harvey to the city of Chicago Heights. During this time, they've been working on the engineering design plans. They've done quite a bit of work and met several times with staff. And they're here tonight to present to you their plans. And then along with that, the cost of the construction. And then following the presentation, you'll be asked to approve a contract with them to proceed with the construction of the water main. So I'll turn it over to the engineers from Burns & McDonnell. Tonight we have here with us Randy Patchett, Steve Creedy, and Steve Bowden. So Steve, if you want to take it over.
Thank you, Jim, and President Hopeld and the board. We, as Burns & McDonnell, I wanted to thank the board for allowing us to come here today and present this exciting project for not only Burns & McDonnell, but we know it's very exciting for the village of Homewood as well. This is the phase 2 for the water delivery project. Quick agenda that we're going to follow is we'll do a quick review of the scope of work. We will discuss some value engineering ideas that we had come up with from the 0% design throughout the process. We'll go over a quick update of where we stand with our corrosion control loop study. Just quickly discuss on some ongoing meetings with the state and some local interested parties. We'll go over the pricing, which I know everyone is very interested in. Go over a quick overview of the schedule, and then we'll open it up for questions. So the scope of work in general is a 30-inch water transmission main that connects from Thornton all the way to Ashland Avenue at the Department of Public Works. The connection is with the City of Chicago Heights. That is a hot tap down in Thornton. It then runs to the west. It goes into a booster pump station located at the Reliable Quarry area. It then pumps through the railroad right-of-way to the west as well, goes underneath Halstead, goes underneath Ridge Road, and then enters and goes through most of the prairie at the Isaac Walton Preserve. The pipeline itself is a 30-inch C900 plastic pipe. I'll get into a little bit more of the details in regards of the booster pump station on the next slide. The installation methodology that we're going to be using is mostly open cut, which is basically big excavators installing the pipe along the way. And as well, we have 2 jack and bores. We have a jack and bore that is located down on the eastern portion of the facility to get underneath some railroad tracks. And then we have a jack and bore underneath the Isaac Walton, which will alleviate and help mitigate a lot of the disturbance in that high quality prairie area, and really keep that prairie to its pristine level right now. Again, we talk about a booster pump station. The 30-inch water main actually comes into this booster pump station. We have a bypass system as well to actually go directly into the village's water tanks, but normally on normal operations, it will go through a flow meter. It will then enter back into the basement, and these horizontal split case pumps will actually boost the pressure up into the water system and then pump into the tanks that are currently at the DPW's water plant. These pumps are basically used so that we can maintain the pressure throughout, keep the water flowing, keep the chlorine residual where it needs to be, and really not lose any of the residual and any of the cleanliness of the water. Again, we went through 10%, 30%, and 60% design right now. Throughout the process, we continually talked about value engineering ideas. We started this project off using ductile iron pipe, which turned into a pretty substantial amount of money. We then went to plastic and a mixture of plastic and HDPE pipe, commonly used in water transmission mains, especially in an area like this where you are actually going through more of a forested area instead of a high highway, high traffic area. We also were able to talk about spacing of valves. So we went from quarter mile separation of valves to half mile separation of valves. So that actually saved some money as well. And basically the overall construction of the building, we started off with a CMU brick veneer building, and it is now a prepackaged system normally used throughout this area, actually used in Joliet, used at the village of Oaklawn and many other utilities within the Chicagoland area. As we stated, we are actually doing a corrosion control study right now, or a pipe loop. This is actually a picture taken last week at the Lansing pump station in Lansing, Illinois, that's run by Chicago Heights. These services right here are actually a combination of Flossmoor lead service lines and Homewood lead service lines. We have been doing testing and sampling for approximately a week. We will continue the sampling for the next 6 months to meet IEPA regulations. We have continually been speaking with them. I know that this is definitely a hot topic within not only Illinois, but the country in regards to changing water sources and what that does to the piping. So we're actually doing a full-blown corrosion loop study where we'll actually be introducing different chemicals to see what they do to the actual lead and copper lead joint services throughout the village. Been working great with John and Patrick from DPW to obtain these lead lines, and it's going well so far. As we said, we've been having ongoing meetings throughout the whole project. We actually have an IEPA meeting on this upcoming Thursday with them to give kind of an update of where the project stands, an update of where the corrosion control study stands, and kind of just get them to start thinking about construction permit, which we submitted about 1 month ago. Earlier in this year, we did have an in-person meeting down at IEPA before the pandemic hit. They really took that well. We had some of our professionals from Kansas City with us that know this water quality, and it was taken very well from IEPA. So that ongoing communication with IEPA is going to go very well for this team, and it's going to go very far for this team. And the other main party that's been very involved over the past 3 to 4 months is the Isaac Walton Preserve. We've met with them at their board meetings. We've met with them in the back of the DPW parking lot, and we were actually doing we actually did a site walk last week where 6 members of the Preserve board, Patrick and myself, walked the 2.5 miles of pipeline to describe to them what was going to happen, what was going to happen during construction, how we were going to leave everything, and kind of just ease their minds in regards to what we were doing, and really hearing their concerns and trying to address their concerns as much as possible, but also keeping in mind the budget of the overall project and the village budget. So this is the winner. So this is the price of the project right now. So Burns McDonnell, we went through, and at 60%, we reached out to the community of the Chicagoland community, all trusted, qualified subcontractors, vendors, and others to go out and get qualified estimates and bids for the construction of the actual work, which includes the transmission main, the booster pump station, just the staking, the testing that needs to go along. And we were able to come up with a project that is overall for phase 2, $11,723,000, which equals $11,670,475. That is for Burns and McDonnell for phase 2. Again, this number includes everything all in, and it will be an installed pipe, a disinfected pipe, and a safe pipe at the end of the day, or by the end of 2022 when the contract with the city of Harvey runs out for the village of Homewood. overall schedule, we're sitting here November 10th, 2020. The goal is right now is that if we have a contract in place sometime in November, we would like to get into the project sometime in December, January of this year to 2021. The reason why this is so important is because the Indiana bat actually starts to nest in the area along this pipeline starting at the end of March, actually April 1st. So you actually cannot clear or take down trees in this area between April 1st and I believe it's November 1st timeframe. So if we missed that window, it would delay the project those months. We would like to get major mobilization spring of 2021. And the reason why this is going to push out to spring of 2021 is obviously we live in Illinois and Chicagoland, and winter is sometimes a bear, but as well, we're dealing with plastic pipe. It was a pretty bad hurricane season down at the Gulf Coast. It has delayed some of the production of PVC pipe, so we're taking that into consideration in our spring 2021 mobilization. We hope to have all of the majority of the pipeline and the booster pump station installed by the end of 2021, and full completion of the project and substantial completion done by August 26th of 2022, which is approximately 4 months ahead of when the overall contract with the city of Harvey runs out for the village of Homewood. I know I went through it fast, and you probably couldn't hear me through my mask, but I will keep the presentation open and up. And if you have any questions, or if you would like to go back to anything, we're here to answer any questions.
Okay. John Schaefer is sitting there with you. John, do you have anything to add?
No, it's just been that it's been a great team effort. We've worked very well with Burns McDonald and Steve being the point person here. We've done a lot of value engineering together. Communication's been great back and forth. So the project is really coming together quite well, and I think overall it's going to be a great construction project.
I'd like to echo John's comments as well, and in particular John, Patrick, and Max in the Public Works Department, working together with Burns McDonald and value engineering this project. I participated in many of the larger meetings and some of the phone calls, and we did a great job in really finding ways to reduce costs. And I want to commend Burns McDonald, the engineers there, Randy, Steve, and Steve, and their assistance and the work they did in cooperation with us and John and his team to a reasonable cost project.
This will be probably the largest public works project that we've undertaken. And again, I just want to echo your comments. I want to commend Burns McDonald. I've sat in on several meetings. The most recent was October 8th. You've further reduced the cost. You've been a pleasure to work with. You're very professional. You anticipate the questions we're going to be asking. You do your homework. You're just a terrific company, and we're very happy to have you there. Also, one thing to note is, as far as Mr. Bubenik is concerned, the money to pay for this?
You know, we have been starting saving capital dollars since we paid off our last water bond in 2005. So slowly, we have accumulated the dollars to pay this project that you've seen tonight over these 15 years.
There aren't many towns that can say we have the money in cash reserves. With that, board comments. Trustee Dawkins.
I would like to thank Mr. Bubenik and all of staff for keeping our town healthy financially. It is amazing that we're able to do this and not affect our residents in any measurable way. With respect to the presentation itself, I would like to thank you for making this very approachable for someone like myself who's not really familiar with this sort of project, not only for reducing the cost, but what I see is even more importantly for addressing the safety concerns that some of our board members, I know Trustee Washington mentioned it, and all of us have that in the back of our minds when we see what has happened in other suburbs. You know, the safety of our residents is paramount. So I'm glad that we are able to achieve the balance of fiscal responsibility and safety for our residents. So thank you so much for all the work that you all have done and all the work that staff has done. I know that you all, you know, Dennis, Jim, Mayor Hofeld, all of you have worked tirelessly to get this underway. So I appreciate it. On behalf of all of our residents, I think this will make it so that we're able to raise our families in a safe way for years to come.
Trustee Purcell.
This is just one of those huge projects that I never, ever really thought about, you know, having to do. And then when it comes up, you think, you know, it's going to take so long and so much money. And then the more we dive into it, of course it does, but it's just amazing how well thought out and planned everything is, and how our village has anticipated these type of things, you know, possibly being needed in the future. And I think that we've been extremely responsible in planning for it. And I think that the presentation was wonderful. It is hitting on everything that I think that people would be asking about, such as safety and time and where the money comes from and everything. And I just think you guys are doing an amazing job, and I'm really proud that we are getting to get this done now. Thank you.
Trustee Washington.
I want to say that my questions were answered, my questions and concerns. And so I am fine with this. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Trustee Roman.
I really just agree with everything that's already been said. This is amazing that, well, first of all, thank you so much for this presentation. Like Trustee Dawkins said, you made this very understandable for us that don't do this type of work all the time. And thank you for that. And I just feel lucky as a resident that we have the means to be able to pay for this, and that we will be having a better water source from a more responsible municipality. So thank you. Thank you everyone for all of your hard work on all of this. This is great. Thank you.
Trustee Heiferman.
I have full confidence in your management of the project. Thanks for the presentation. I was looking forward to it, and you exceeded my expectations. So thank you, and hope we get started soon.
Trustee Bergson.
Yeah, I too want to thank our staff. It is amazing the work that they've put in for this project, and we're probably the only community in the metropolitan area that has staff that could pull this together as well as they have. And to have the money to finance it is, you know, really amazing. And I echo your comments, Mayor. I don't think there's another community probably in the United States of our size that would be able to move forward on this project and pay cash for it.
Before we conclude, Mrs. Thomas, you have received a letter from the Isaac Walton Preserve.
Yes.
If you could read that, please.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can.
It's addressed to John Schaefer, Director of Public Works. The Board of Homewood Isaac Walton Preserve very much appreciates the solid back and forth communication with the Village of Homewood concerning the new water line, which is planned to traverse our property. Communications began on February 13, 2020, when you addressed the Isaac Walton Board. Since then, we've had 2 additional formal meetings and 3 informal meetings. Collectively, these several meetings have included not just you, but also Pat McEnany, as well as representatives of the general contractor. We've appreciated the open communication and solicitation of our input and concerns. Because of these communications, the plans have changed in several ways over time. You have listened to our concerns that the natural habitats in the preserve be minimally disrupted. Likewise, we trust that you've been reasonable in trying to understand constraints on the part of the Village of Homewood and of the general contractor. The Village of Homewood has committed to continued frequent communication with Isaac Walton going forward about the project. Isaac Walton has committed to providing updated information regarding the project to our members in our newsletter. The first article on the project was included in our October newsletter. On behalf of the Board of Directors of Isaac Walton Preserve, we commend and thank you for your efforts thus far and look forward to working together to ensure a successful water main project for the Village of Homewood. Sincerely, John Brinkman, President.
Thank you, and thank John. With that in mind, in order to provide a safe, reliable source of water at the most reasonable cost, may I have a motion to consider waiving the competitive bidding and entering into an amended contract with Burns McDonnell Engineering to construct a new water main, a water transmission main and booster pump station for a total cost of $11,670,475 at this time. May I have a motion to that effect, please?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Chairman.
Second,
It's been moved.
Dawkins.
It's been moved by trustee Dawkins, seconded by trustee Heiferman. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins,
Aye.
Trustee Purcell.
Aye.
Trustee Washington,
Aye.
Trustee Roman,
Aye.
Trustee Heiferman,
Aye.
Trustee Burnson.
Aye.
The motion is approved, and for the folks at Burns McDonnell, again, you've done an excellent job, and you now have 8 sidewalk superintendents that will be looking over your shoulder. You realize that. With that, general board discussion, comments or questions, trustee Dawkins?
Not during that bat season, though. I'm going to be staying clear during the bat season. I would just ask everyone, I mean, I feel like a broken record, but the COVID numbers are soaring out of control. I just ask everyone to wear their masks and stay safe. Stay within your bubble of people who, you are quarantining with, so that hopefully we can come together again safely.
Trustee Purcell?
I'm good.
Trustee Washington?
No comments.
I do want to congratulate trustee Washington. I received notification that your mother, the blue spruce in front of her house in Morgan Park, was selected as the City of Chicago Christmas tree. So we do have a connection to the City of Chicago Christmas tree through trustee Washington. Trustee Roman?
I have nothing to add.
Trustee Heiferman?
I just want to join trustee Dawkins in expressing my thoughts are, I'm very disappointed in those who violate the governor's mandates. Now more than ever, we need to be on track and stick with it. And those who frequent places that are open, it's just not right. And those who are open and having dining indoors when they're not supposed to, equally bad. I encourage people to do what's best and stay safe.
Trustee Burnson?
Yeah, I want to echo the comments of trustee Dawkins and trustee Heiferman. Over the last 2 weeks, it has hit close to my house, and it's all based on, unfortunately, work assignments for people that I know and love, and it's affected 2 families dearly. Luckily, they'll all come through it, hopefully unscarred, but please wear your mask, please wash your hands, and please conduct social distancing.
Thank you. And a reminder to everyone, the last 2 weeks in November, Wednesday, November 18th and November 25th, there's free leaf pickup. It's leaves only, not other yard waste. Place the leaves in craft bags. You can purchase them at Ace Hardware, Home Depot, or Menards. You just have to place them at the curb, and no sticker is necessary. So that's the week of, it's Wednesday, the 18th of November and Wednesday, the 25th of November, free leaf pickup in the Village of Homewood. With that, may I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
So move, Bernstein.
Been moved by trustee Burnson, seconded by trustee Purcell. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins,
Aye.
Trustee Purcell,
Aye.
Trustee Washington,
Aye.
Trustee Roman,
Aye.
Trustee Heiferman,
Aye.
Trustee Burnson.
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Thank you all.